Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, following the terrorist attack on an Abuja-Kaduna passenger train on March 28, 2022, which left about 14 persons killed and 63 officially declared abducted and later released in batches with an undisclosed sum of monies paid to the abductors. The federal government says that the train services between the Abuja and Kaduna routes will resume within 5 days from today.
The federal government has assured citizens that it will improve security measures along the popular Abuja-Kaduna train corridor. Nigeria's Minister of Transportation, Mazu Jaji Sambo, while inspecting the corridor ahead of the resumption of the train services, says efforts being put in place, efforts that are being put in place is about 90% complete. He said there is no reason to fear when the services resume and assured commuters that there will be no repeat of the incident.
On every journey, the train is monitored every second on a screen. And the train driver can see up to a certain distance if there is any threat on the track. I am giving Nigerians full assurance that a human being can give that this train is safe for them to use. There is absolutely nothing to fear. We have learned from what has happened, and life is all about learning lessons and adopting measures to deal with the lessons. As a responsible government, we have seen those lessons. We have devised the appropriate measures to counter them. And like I always told the public, I was not going to allow this train to resume until everybody who was in captivity was released. And to the glory of God, we have achieved that.
Will Nigerians board the Abuja-Kaduna train upon resumption after seeing the tough conditions and pains that kidnappers put their victims through some months ago? What exactly is the true state of securing the lives of Nigerian commuters along the Abuja-Kaduna Railway? These are some of the questions we'll be looking to answer this morning. And joining us is the President's CEO, Security Watch Africa Initiatives, Abuja. We have Patrick Agbamu joining us. Thank you very much, Patrick, for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
I think we should start off by, having you answer the first question we asked as regards the confidence with which Nigerians will ply the train, the Abuja-Kaduna train. Are we going to see more? We all followed the news to see the unfortunate incidents of how our Nigerian brothers and sisters were kidnapped and tortured from the 28th of March. Are we going to see more Nigerians confident enough to take this train route?
Yeah, thank you. There's so many Nigerians that are actually worried and doubtful of the safety of that train. In actual fact, as at yesterday, after the information came out that I will be on this program, some people had sent me a message: how safe is it? How can they believe that it's truly safe? Yes, there are many Nigerians that are doubtful, but it's a good thing that it's coming back, and I think it's something that Nigerians would also jump to, because as we speak, I understand as of yesterday, the request for ticket is even mounting so much that they may need to improve the capacity of the online booking. So while we have many Nigerians who are doubtful of the safety, there are still some who can't wait to be on the train again.
Well, I mean, is there any way, because the minister, of course, has said that it's safe, and people are encouraged to get back on the train. But from your perspective, do you think that the Nigerian government has done enough, really, to ensure that those trains are safe? Aside words of affirmation, do you think that they've done enough?
I would answer yes and then no. Yes, in the sense that we shouldn't have allowed what happened in the first instance to happen. It's sad. We thank God that that chapter is being closed gradually, though the wounds are still there for the victims, even those who were released to be healed, and so it's still there. But moving forward, the train is an investment, they must get back on the track again. So government had taken measures. Private security companies have been contracted to provide surveillance operations on that route, on the track line. And the security forces, the operational forces are also on alert to make sure that in case of any eventuality, that security are there to provide the needed cover and protection. Information I also gathered is that you have some uniformed security men and some non-uniformed security men there in the trains to provide a kind of security in case of some people infiltrate the train itself. And measures have been taken. For instance, you can't board the train if you don't have the NIM, the national identity identification number. And so they are taking measures, but whether these measures is enough or will be enough, we want to see it tested in the first instance to find out what the result will be. But more importantly, which I have also tried to find out from sources around the routes of the track, communities along those tracks. I tried to find out, in fact, in the last 2 weeks, if the government and the Nigerian Railway Corporation is interacting with them. Because in the first instance, what happened, one of these communities, the people who blew up the train stayed in that community for some time, and information was not given. So these things are there, have been put in place. It's not just word from what I can see and I can say, but of course, in any situation, there's need to try. And I believe that in all sincerity, there may be improvement from what it used to be.
How much effect do you think that this new measure that has been put in place to allow people buy tickets, there have been, like you mentioned, you must first of all drop your phone number and your NIN. In addition to that, infants are not allowed to, of course, board the train without an adult paying for them and an adult that has an NIN. Now, all these are measures that have been put in to safeguard or to guarantee the security of the passengers that are boarding the train. But would you say that this, judging by the fact that Nigeria has a data collection challenge, would you say that this information that is being collated is not to prevent, but maybe to then be reactive after the incidents may have occurred, God forbid? We hope that we don't have a repeat incident. But shouldn't we now focus on measures that would help us be proactive to prevent, as opposed to us having information about who may have perpetrated the said crime after it has been done? Because that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, thank you. In security, that measure is also a deterrent. It's also a deterrent because if I know that I need to keep my information down, I had planned to commit a crime on that train, and first of all, I will think twice because if after I've finished committing the crime, the possibility of me escaping without being arrested may be slim. So it serves again as a deterrent for those who may want to cause trouble to actually think twice and maybe possibly re-strategize. That is one of the things. But again, like the last incident that happened, yes, there were some infiltrators. There were some of these bandits who were and terrorists who were in the train, which made it the attack quite easier. And so it will help to actually prevent that issue. So it serves also as a deterrent from such attacks.
Oh, well. It's Yeah, I mean, these things will probably be nice, you know, in a country that really does go after and after criminals after they've been found. You remember, the Nigerian government has constantly said that they know the sponsors of terrorist groups and the likes. We also saw a person who was killed. Remember the story of Deborah, who was killed by a mob. And eventually, the Nigerian police force was, you know, seemingly giving excuses and saying that the perpetrators ran away. These things would work in a country that did have proper records and was able to go after criminals. But we'll hope that they, of course, assure Nigerians enough to get back on the trains. Thank you very much for your time this morning, and we hope to speak with you again.